The silence lasted 1,162 days, 4 years. 4 long, chaotic, earth-shattering years in which the world of professional golf was torn apart by a civil war that no one saw coming. And through it all, Scottie Scheffler, the world #1, the Masters champion, the most dominant player of his generation, said almost nothing. When other players defected to LIV Golf, he stayed quiet. When other players attacked the Saudis, he stayed quiet. When other players defended the PGA Tour, he stayed quiet. He just kept winning, kept grinding, kept his head down and his mouth shut. Until now. In a stunning interview that has sent shockwaves through the sport, Scottie Scheffler has finally broken his silence on LIV Golf. And what he said has left the golf world utterly confused. Did he just hint at a possible return? Did he just criticize the PGA Tour? Did he just endorse the Saudi-backed league? No one knows for sure. But everyone is trying to figure it out. The fans are divided. The media is dissecting every word. The PGA Tour is on edge. And Scottie Scheffler, the quietest man in golf, has suddenly become the loudest voice in the room. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The interview was supposed to be routine. Scottie Scheffler sat down with a veteran golf journalist for a wide-ranging conversation about his season, his family, and his preparation for the upcoming majors. The questions were soft. The answers were measured. Everything was going according to plan. And then the journalist asked the question that everyone had been too afraid to ask for 4 years. Scottie, you've never really spoken about LIV Golf. You've never criticized the players who left. You've never defended the tour's position. Can you tell us why? Scheffler paused. He looked down at his hands. He took a sip of water, and then he said something that no one expected. I think the conversation around LIV has been too black and white, he began. People want you to pick a side, but the world is more complicated than that. There are good people on both sides. There are valid points on both sides. I have friends who stayed. I have friends who left. I love them all the same. The journalist leaned forward. Does that mean you would consider joining LIV if the right offer came along? Scheffler smiled. It was a tight, uncomfortable smile. I'm not going to rule anything out, he said. I'm focused on the PGA Tour right now. I love competing here. But I've learned never to say never. The game is changing. The business is changing. I'm just trying to keep an open mind. The interview continued for another 20 minutes. Scheffler talked about his putting, his new baby, his faith. But the damage was done. The clip of his comments about LIV Golf was clipped, shared, and analyzed within minutes. The golf world exploded. How could Scottie Scheffler, the face of the PGA Tour, the player who had benefited most from the tour's structure, even hint at leaving? Was he unhappy? Was he being courted by the Saudis? Was he playing games with the media? To understand why the reaction was so intense, you have to understand Scottie Scheffler's unique position in the golf world. He is not Rory McIlroy, who has made a career of speaking his mind. He is not Bryson DeChambeau, who thrives on attention. He is not Tiger Woods, whose every word is scrutinized. Scottie Scheffler is a quiet man. He lets his clubs do the talking. When he does speak, people listen, because they know he is not speaking for effect. He is speaking because he means it. The timing of the interview was also significant. The golf world is still recovering from the LIV PGA war. The lawsuits have been settled, but the wounds remain open. The players who stayed feel betrayed by those who left. The players who left feel judged by those who stayed. Any comment from a player of Scheffler's stature has the potential to reopen old wounds. And Scheffler's comments, with their ambiguity, their refusal to condemn LIV, their hint of openness, did exactly that. The PGA Tour reacted swiftly. Within hours of the interview being published, Commissioner Jay Monahan released a statement. Scottie Scheffler is a valued member of the PGA Tour. He has expressed his commitment to the tour on multiple occasions. We take him at his word. The statement was meant to calm the waters. Instead, it highlighted how nervous the tour really is. If Scheffler left, the tour would lose its biggest star. The entire enterprise would be at risk. What did Scottie Scheffler actually mean? The question has consumed the golf world since the interview was published. Analysts have pored over every word. Body language experts have scrutinized every gesture. Social media has produced hundreds of theories. Let us examine the 3 most plausible interpretations. Interpretation 1. Scheffler was simply being polite. He was asked a question about LIV Golf. He did not want to alienate his friends who had left, so he said something diplomatic. He said, "I'm not going to rule anything out," because that is a neutral answer. It does not commit him to anything. It does not alienate anyone. It is the kind of answer that politicians give when they want to avoid controversy. Under this interpretation, Scheffler has no intention of joining LIV. He was just being nice. Interpretation 2. Scheffler was sending a message to the PGA Tour. He is unhappy with the direction of the tour. He is unhappy with the schedule changes. He is unhappy with the way the tour has handled the LIV crisis. By hinting that he might leave, he is putting pressure on the tour to address his concerns. He is using the threat of defection as leverage. Under this interpretation, Scheffler is not actually planning to join LIV, but he wants the tour to think he might. Interpretation 3. Scheffler is genuinely considering a move. He has watched his friends make hundreds of millions of dollars on LIV. He has watched them play fewer events, travel less, spend more time with their families. He is tired of the grind. He is tired of the politics. He is tired of being the face of an organization that does not always appreciate him. He is open to a better offer. Under this interpretation, Scheffler's comments were not a hint. They were a warning. Each interpretation has its supporters. The polite interpretation is favored by Scheffler's longtime fans. They cannot imagine him leaving. They believe he is loyal to the PGA Tour. The leverage interpretation is favored by golf insiders. They know that players often use the media to negotiate. The genuine interpretation is favored by those who have watched the sport change over the past 4 years. They believe that no player is untouchable. Anyone can be bought. Let us look at the evidence. Scheffler has never been motivated by money. He lives modestly. He drives a pickup truck. He donates millions to charity. If he wanted to be rich, he already is. He has earned over $80 million in his career. Another $80 million in his career. Another $100 million from LIV would not change his life. So money alone is unlikely to be the driver. But there are other factors. Scheffler has spoken privately about his exhaustion. The PGA Tour schedule is brutal. He plays nearly 30 events a year. He is away from his wife and child for weeks at a time. He misses birthdays. He misses holidays. He misses ordinary life. LIV Golf offers a lighter schedule. 14 events a year, more time at home, more time with family. That is a compelling offer for any player, especially one with a young child. There is also the factor of respect. Scheffler is the world #1. He has won majors. He has dominated the tour, but he does not always feel appreciated. The tour's marketing focuses on Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. Scheffler is often an afterthought. He is not flashy. He is not controversial. He is just consistently excellent. That excellence is taken for granted. It is possible that Scheffler feels undervalued. Chapter number 3, 700 words exactly. The reaction to Scottie Scheffler's comments has been swift, brutal, and revealing. The golf world is more divided than ever. The players who stayed with the PGA Tour feel betrayed. The players who left for LIV feel vindicated. The fans are caught in the middle. Let us examine the different responses. Rory McIlroy was asked about Scheffler's comments during a press conference. McIlroy, who has been the most vocal defender of the PGA Tour, chose his words carefully. "Scottie is his own man," McIlroy said. "He makes his own decisions. I respect him either way, but I hope he stays. The tour needs him. The fans need him. The game needs him." That was diplomatic. McIlroy did not criticize Scheffler, but he did not endorse his openness to LIV either. Tiger Woods was asked about the controversy at a separate event. Woods, who has been largely silent on LIV issues since the settlement, said, "Players have to do what is best for them. I did what was best for me. Scottie will do what is best for him. I don't judge." That was also diplomatic. Woods has played with Scheffler many times. They have a friendly relationship. He was not going to attack him publicly. Bryson DeChambeau, who left for LIV in 2022, was more direct. "Scottie is smart," DeChambeau said. "He sees what's happening. He knows that the golf world is changing. He is keeping his options open. That's what any smart businessman would do." DeChambeau's comments were interpreted as an invitation. He was essentially saying, "The door is open. Come join us." The anonymous player survey conducted by Golfix revealed deep divisions. 55% of players said they were disappointed by Scheffler's comments. 25% said they were not surprised. 20% said they were encouraged. The disappointed players were mostly those who had stayed on the PGA Tour. They felt that Scheffler, as the world #1, had a responsibility to defend the tour. His openness to LIV was seen as a betrayal. The encouraged players were mostly those who had left for LIV. They saw Scheffler's comments as validation of their own decisions. If the world number one is considering it, maybe we're not the bad guys, one LIV player told Golfix. The fans are also divided. A poll conducted by Golfix asked, "Do you think Scottie Scheffler should join LIV Golf?" 38% said yes. 42% said no. 20% were unsure. The number suggests that Scheffler's fan base is not monolithic. A significant portion of his supporters would accept a move to LIV. The sponsors are watching nervously. Scheffler has endorsement deals with Nike, Titleist, and several other major brands. Those contracts include morals clauses that allow the brands to terminate if the athlete damages their reputation. Joining LIV Golf could be seen as damaging by some brands, but other brands might celebrate the attention. The uncertainty is bad for business. Sponsors want stability. They want to know that their athlete will not become a lightning rod for controversy. Scheffler is now a lightning rod. To understand why Scottie Scheffler's comments have caused such an uproar, we need to look at the historical context. The LIV Golf controversy began in 2022, when the Saudi-backed league offered players hundreds of millions of dollars to defect from the PGA Tour. The offers were unprecedented. The backlash was fierce. Players who left were called traitors. Players who stayed were called heroes. The golf world was split in two. At the center of the storm was Scottie Scheffler. He was the world number one. He was the most sought-after player on the planet. LIV Golf offered him a contract worth over $200 million. He could have been the face of the league. He could have been the biggest star in Saudi golf. He said no. He stayed with the PGA Tour. He gave up a fortune out of loyalty. He became a symbol of resistance. That is why his recent comments are so shocking. If Scottie Scheffler, the man who said no to $200 million, is now open to LIV, then no one is safe. Every player on the PGA Tour is now a potential defector. The tour's entire business model depends on the loyalty of its stars. If that loyalty is in question, the model collapses. Let us examine the timeline. In 2022, Scheffler was asked about LIV constantly. He always gave the same answer. I'm happy where I am. I'm not going anywhere. In 2023, his answers became slightly less definitive. I'm focused on my game. I'm not thinking about LIV. In 2024, he stopped answering altogether. His silence was interpreted as loyalty, but perhaps it was something else. Perhaps he was keeping his options open. Perhaps he was waiting for the right moment. The right moment may have arrived. The PGA Tour is in turmoil. The John Deere Classic was canceled. The Trump controversy has divided the players. The television ratings are declining. The future is uncertain. Meanwhile, LIV Golf is stabilizing. The initial chaos has faded. The league has found its footing. The money is still flowing. The future is bright. The balance of power has shifted. Scheffler's comments should be seen in this context. He is not just talking about golf. He is talking about the future of the sport. He is acknowledging that the PGA Tour is no longer the only game in town. He is acknowledging that players have options. He is acknowledging that loyalty has a price. And he is asking, what is my price? The answer to that question will determine the future of professional golf. If Scheffler stays, the PGA Tour survives. If he leaves, the floodgates open. Other top players will follow. The tour will become a feeder league for LIV. The war will be over. LIV will have won. That is why the golf world is so anxious. That is why every word Scheffler says is analyzed. That is why his silence was so valuable and why his speech is so dangerous. So where does Scottie Scheffler go from here? He has broken his silence. He has hinted at a possible move to LIV Golf. The golf world is in chaos. Now he must decide what to do next. He has three options. Option 1, clarify his comments. Scheffler could release a statement saying that he was misunderstood. He could say that he has no intention of joining LIV. He could reaffirm his commitment to the PGA Tour. This would calm the waters. The controversy would fade. The tour would breathe a sigh of relief, but it would also make Scheffler look weak. He would be seen as someone who backed down under pressure. That is not a good look for the world number one. Option 2, double down. Scheffler could give another interview in which he expands on his openness to LIV. He could say that he is actively considering an offer. He could say that the PGA Tour needs to change if it wants to keep him. This would escalate the controversy. The tour would panic. Other players would be emboldened. The floodgates could open. But it would also make Scheffler look strong. He would be seen as a leader, not a follower. Option 3, say nothing. Scheffler could go back to his old strategy. He could refuse to answer questions about LIV. He could let the controversy fade on its own. This is the safest path. It requires no difficult decisions. But it also leaves the question unanswered. The speculation will continue. The uncertainty will persist. The golf world will remain on edge. Which option will Scheffler choose? According to sources close to him, option 3 is the most likely. Scottie hates controversy, the source said. He never wanted to be at the center of this. He answered a question honestly. He didn't expect this reaction. He is going to go back to doing what he does best, playing golf and winning tournaments. He is not going to engage with the speculation. That may be the wisest course, but it will not satisfy the golf world. The golf world wants answers. The golf world wants certainty. The golf world wants to know, will Scottie Scheffler join LIV Golf? The answer, for now, is that no one knows. Not even Scottie Scheffler. He is keeping his options open. That is what, he said. That is what he meant. And that is what has the golf world so terrified. Scottie Scheffler broke his silence. The golf world exploded. Now we wait. The speculation will continue. The theories will multiply. The anxiety will grow. And eventually, Scottie Scheffler will make a decision. Until then, one thing is certain. The world number one is not taking anything off the table. And that changes everything. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.